I want to thank everyone who came out in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I kept doing a southern accent the entire time I was out there, and I was addressing it, but I don't know what Wyoming people sound like. Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Denver, Colorado. I went out with Dean Delray, and we had a great fucking time. We played this, the Cheyenne Civic Center. How cool does that sound? Had all this amazing woodwork inside of it that really looked like one of those log cabins that either an oil man or a fucking Hollywood starlet goes and buys. You know, like when people like get a huge amount of success pretending to be other people, at some point they have to get out of LA, and they always end up in like Wyoming or Montana. It's fucking hilarious. And they buy what looks like a log cabin, sort of. It looks like a log cabin and like a fucking resort all at the same time, you know, and then they go out there and they buy their designer, I'm a fucking cattle rancher wardrobe. And then they do the fucking interview, right, with their big stupid cowboy hat on. An older, wiser so-and-so steps back to evaluate the last 6 years of a whirlwind, whatever the fuck it is, right? You know what I mean? And then they pretend that they can live this little fucking life out there before they go nuts after 3 days, and they call up a G5 to pick them up and take them right back, you know, and they end up back down to the Chateau. All right, the Chateau Marmont. Doing blow in a bungalow. That's what you do. You're finding a little bit of balance. Wyoming. Cheyenne, Wyoming. So I go there, and, you know, this was the last of the 50 that I had to do. So, of course, I'm reading all up on Wyoming and all that type of stuff, and I see that Yellowstone Park is right in the northwest corner of it, and I'm like, well, fuck, I got to go up there and go do a gig in the middle of nowhere at some point. And maybe I'll do a nice run through Montana, Idaho, and all that shit, the Dakotas. You know, I get into all that fucking nerdy shit, right? So we do the gig. We have a great time. I take some pictures with some people afterwards. And when I was on stage, I was saying, hey, where should we go tonight if I want to go out and have a pot, right? So, of course, everybody's yelling out everything at the same time, and I can't hear anything. So I'm like, one at a time. And then just in the back, this guy yells out, the green door! Said to go to the green door, and then the whole crowd just goes, ah, like, you know, don't go there. And I was like, I didn't even need you guys to say that. The green door just sounds like some creepy serial killer place. So I go, I'm not fucking going there. So then somebody said, I forget the fuck it was called, the Cadillac Lounge or something. I took a picture of it. So I decide, you know, all right, that's where the fuck we'll go. We'll go over to this thing. I'm actually looking up the picture right now on my phone here. Come on. Where is it? There it is. The Cadillac Ranch. Sorry. So we go in there, you know, there's a big American flag lit up on the side. I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's fucking go in there and see what this place is about. And we went in there, and I got to tell you, man, it was the most diverse group of fucking people I've ever seen in my life. And I think for the simple fact there was no other place to go. So there was like a group of bikers. There was soldiers. There was like ranchers. There was a group of lesbians, and then there was just filler people that you couldn't really tell what the fuck they were. They was older, younger, the whole fucking thing. So we're in there like, wow, man, look, this is nuts. And then it had a real like cowboy kind of feel to it, yet there was like a fucking DJ playing like modern music. It was fucked. So we're in there, and Dean, for whatever fucking reason, is just pointing at shit, and people going, look at that fucking guy. Look at this shit. Look at this fucking bar. And I'm sitting there going, Dean, stop pointing at shit. Stop pointing at shit. You know, Dean's been sober for like 20 fucking years, so he's got no excuse. He just kept pointing at shit. And then finally, you know, I was talking to a couple of the people in there. I was talking to this guy that was in the middle of taking a 2-year welding class, which of course was really interesting to me. I was talking to him about that shit. Was talking to some other people, and then at one point somebody said, hey, you want a whiskey? So like my thing now when I go on the road and I drink, I have a beer and a whiskey or a scotch, and then that's it. I call it a fucking night. And it's been working out great for me. You know what I mean? So I have a nice little taste, but then I don't get hammered. And then I'm fine the next morning and I can work out and shit, right? So this guy offers, he comes over, hey, I got to buy a drink. I said, well, I'm just getting a beer. And I said, well, all right. Well, I was going to get a whiskey too. He goes, well, what do you want? He goes, we got a local fucking Wyoming whiskey. I was like, all right. When in Cheyenne, let's fucking do it, right? So he gets me this fucking shot and he brings it over and it was almost like see-through. Now, I don't know if they did whiskey and water or what, but I fucking took a sip of it and it had no bite or anything. I was just looking at him like, dude, what the fuck is this? And he goes, well, it hasn't been aged at all. I got to tell you, dude, it was the worst whiskey I've ever had. And my apology to the person who bought me the shot, I couldn't finish it. I said, Dean, look at this fucking thing. And Dean was just like, yeah, dude, that looks like piss. So, and then at that point, I wasn't looking, but Dean was saying that the biker people were mean mugging everybody. And he goes, dude, let's get the fuck out of here. So we get out of there. And, as we were driving over there, I noticed that there was a liquor store with a drive-through. So I was like, oh God, I got to get a picture of that. So I pull over, I get a picture of it. And then I'm just like, dude, I got to do it. I got to go to a drive-through liquor store. So I fucking pull up. I posted video of this, and I just wanted to get one beer. And the guy goes, well, I can give you like the 24 ounce. So I got like a Budweiser. I'll repost the video on the Monday Morning Podcast Twitter page. So I went up, I ordered a fucking beer. And what was really cool is it had the old remember the old air hoses when you would pull up at the gas station and it would ring the bell like ding, ding as your car pulled in. It was so fucking cool. And, we were sitting there and then this dude just sort of walked into the place or whatever. And as we drive out, there's an Arby's across the street, which I never fucking eat, fucking fast food roast beef. I mean, I like to think I'm a courageous person, but that's just that gets a little too shady for me, right? I'd rather eat the pink slime. So anyways, Del Rey's going like, hey man, he goes, let's hit the Arby's. I'm hungry. So I go, all right. So we go into the Arby's, right? He orders some shit, and then I ordered like some chicken sliders, which I shouldn't have fucking got. They were fucking disgusting. It was like eating the heel of some chick's fucking boot, just the way they were shaped, like clogs. They were just fucking gross. So we go around to the drive-thru, and this is right across from the drive-thru liquor store. And I look across the street, and I read the sign, and what does it say? It says the Green Door. So the drive-thru liquor store is part of this shady fucking titty bar called the Green Door that urban legend said that there was a one-legged stripper in. Now, the younger me would have been like, I got to go in and go see that shit. The older me goes like, oh my God, that's somebody's daughter. So technically, I kind of did go to the Green Door. I didn't go in there. I just fucking pulled up or whatever. So I'll post some pictures of that shit. Let me see if I actually took them. So, and then the next day we got up, right, and we wanted to go to some local place to get breakfast, and we went to this local place, and I don't know if the regular chef was out of town, but I ordered eggs over easy, and I cut into them, dude. They were so undercooked, like it came out clear. Like the white part of the egg was still clear, like, when those people drink like egg whites, it was like that. And so Dean's eggs were the same way. And I just never sent food back, so I just stirred them in with the fucking hash. I mean, they should have just served the eggs in a glass like fucking Rocky Balboa, and I just suck it down. And I noticed a woman diagonally from me, she sent her eggs back too. And then in the end, when I went to pay, she was just like, how was it? And when I said it was great, I kind of stumbled. I went, it was great. And then she goes, and then she immediately looked up. She goes, was everything okay? Was everything okay? So... I'm just guessing that the normal chef was out of town, so I'm not going to out this place as being something bad. But it was pretty rough. It was one of the worst breakfasts I've ever had. But when we came back down, we were driving down to Denver. I literally feel like a little kid right now. Like I'm just telling you every moment of this tour. But Dean's a big motorcycle guy. He's been riding for 30 years. So they had this huge fucking Harley Davidson dealership right on the 25 as we were coming down. So we stopped in, and I didn't know, but Harley has a new bike that's just right out of my childhood. It's called the 72, and it's got the big spoked front wheel. It's got the handlebars. It's like fucking Arthur Fonzarelli's bike, which obviously was fucking from the 50s or whatever. But I haven't ridden in like a year and a half, and I don't know, man. I think I got to ride that bike. I think I'm going to rent it just one day. There's a park up around where I'm at. I'll rent it on like a Sunday and just go up there in the morning time and just fucking ride it around and bring it back. I'm too much of a pussy to ride all the time because, I got too much to fucking lose. And, oh my God, they had one in this black and gold metal flake. It was fucking good. It's just perfect, man. As much as I love the Road King, like every wannabe motorcycle rider who watched a couple episodes of whatever that fucking show was. What was that fucking show there that everybody watched about the bikes? Like every fucking wannabe badass who doesn't have a tattoo and is not a motorcycle guy. Like Del Rey took a picture of me on the fucking 72, and I just started laughing. I was like, how much am I not a motorcycle guy? Like, do you realize of what a fucking nerd you have to look like to sit on a Harley and still look like somebody you could bully? I look like every fucking just white dude having a midlife crisis that who watched it. What is that fucking show? What is the fucking show that was all about the motorcycles that everybody watched? I never got into it. God damn it. It's the perfect reference for this shit. But, I want to thank everybody that came out. Cheyenne, Wyoming. I know it was last second, but I had a great time. I had a great time in your state capital. It was just a really, really cool fucking town. And I had a great time in the Cadillac Ranch there. That sounds, I swear to God, like the fucking Bunny Ranch. It sounds like a fucking whorehouse, but it wasn't. It was cool talking to the people there. And thank you to everybody, that bought me a beer and a shot and all that shit. Thank you, everybody in Denver, by the way, which was just a fucking insane show. That was another special one just because I've done so many fucking gigs in Colorado in the middle of nowhere. I always bring up Arapahoe Community College. I'll never forget that nooner where they had me standing in an area where 3 hallways met right before class ended. That was a fucking nightmare, next to a popcorn machine and 5 people scattered out about 40 chairs, empty chairs.